So last week you saw this guy, one of his roosters died. And we didn't know why, but we thought we were going to put the rooster to good use after death. I put him out here in front of a game camera. And I wanted to see if there were any predators coming by. We figured that we would use the rooster as a little bit of bait to see what kind of predators we had in the field here. Unfortunately, my mistake, I put the game camera up too high and something came and got the dead rooster. After about 3 days, something came and swiped it. But when I checked the card, it had triggered motion, but it wasn't in the shot because the camera was looking up higher than the rooster was. But here on this road line, I've seen the same scat from some predator up and down the road. He runs the road. So today we're gonna set up a camera right on the road and see if we can't catch the predator that is out here, just so we know what we're dealing with here on the hill. We haven't seen much predators, which is a good thing, but we'd like to know what's out here. So we're gonna go hang another camera.
Yep.
Let's do it. Hop in, bud.
What about the camera?
We'll drive back.
I'm looking for it. I saw like a spider somewhere around here. Where was it?
Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
there. See? It's a spider walking on the water. I don't know if I ever seen that.
Oh, there, look. There's fresh poop.
That's
Right there. And there's fresh poop right there. So he's been pooping right here. So if we put a camera up like, I'm thinking right here, what do you think? Shoot like that, we'll get whatever's walking through here. So you can see we just put a camera on that post. We're right on a road on the property that's leading up into the woods where we go hunting. So this camera will capture cars that are driving down this road. It's an access road, just good for security. But what did we find here on the road?
poop.
What kind of poop?
I think raccoon.
My son thinks it's raccoon poop. It could be raccoon. It's got a lot of berries in it. A lot of berries. Poop number 1. Here's poop number 2.
And some more right there.
Oh, what is that?
I think it's raccoon.
That's 3 poos in this one little area that are not livestock and they're not deer. So it's mostly berries, right?
Yeah.
So he's guessing raccoon. We'll get a close-up shot. Comment below what you think it is. There's a couple ruts here that have formed like little water holes. There's standing water, so I'm wondering if whatever isn't running up this road doesn't stop and take a little drink here.
Yeah.
So I put the camera right over the water hole, and then we're gonna go check a card up on the field, and then it's time to shoot our bow and arrow.
Yep.
All right, let's get going. You can see we just came to a spot that I've hunted for years. That's a double tree stand behind me there. Put that up before, I mean, he was just a baby when I put that thing up. I've been hunting this spot for years. This year I got 2 doe tags and a buck tag, so I can shoot 3 deer. The buck, to be a legal buck, needs to have 3 tines on one side. We're gonna leave a sight going here for a long time to see what kind of traffic we have here. And then we're gonna move some of the other cameras if they don't get a lot of action. But this has always been a good spot for a camera. So we're gonna go refresh it. We're gonna put another feed block. Ooh. That's always a good sign. We got fresh acorns dropping here. And that tree stand is actually in a white oak, which deer love white oaks. So they'll be coming to eat these acorns. I won't be surprised if that's what's bringing them in.
Hey, Daddy, look.
That's beautiful. Oh, look at that. We're gonna go check the card.
You broke it.
make sure it's legal where you are to use feed and minerals. In our state of PA, I can't hunt over this if there's feed and minerals, so I will not be running this into hunting season. This is just to do a check on the population, see how they're doing, and then I'll remove the minerals in the feed afterward. Okay, got some cool, got some pictures. We're gonna go back to the house and check them, but first we're gonna go back and shoot our bows. Hay bales now. Of course, as soon as we're going to shoot against the hillside, the cow's got to walk over. We won't shoot if she stays there.
Too high.
Too high. You're not in the picture. Let me adjust the camera. Oh, that's good. That's a good shot right there. Hold your bow up.
My hand started.
These are compound bows. These are not bow and arrows that you would have seen, you know, the Native Americans running around with. These things are designed to increase the amount of force that your arrow has when you send it down range. They're designed to be more accurate and easier tools to hunt with. So this compound bow that I have, it's a 60-pound bow. It's super efficient. It shoots an arrow downrange almost 300 feet per second. Not quite. My bow shoots about actually 260. It's a little on the slower side. My son's bow, you want to show yours?
Sure.
Is also a compound bow. That's a Genesis bow, which we'll put links below. This is a Genesis Mini. It will be able to be used by him for the next couple of years as he grows. And then when he's old enough to actually hunt with a bow, like I am, we'll get him a bow that has a minimum of, I think it's 40 pounds of draw weight is your minimum for hunting large game. My bow is a Prime Shift is the model. It is a couple years old. I don't update a bow every year. I have a single pin sight on it. Today we're just going to show you the basics shooting the bow and arrow. Not going to get into the details, but questions below and we'll do follow-up videos talking about what you want to know, like gear-wise, what I use. But today we're just going to have some fun shooting some arrows downrange. Dad and son having a little time. And we'll show you a little bit about shooting form and how I like to practice in the early season. So let's get shooting. I think that cow, nah, she didn't move enough. We're going to have to go set up somewhere else. That cow's going to be stubborn. Of course, she's a cow. All right, you gonna start shooting?
Yep.
I'll talk while you shoot a little bit.
Yep.
We like to early season like it is right now. Just come out here and get our muscles warmed up for the season. So while my son shoots, he's pretty much shooting under 10 yards right now.
Wah, wah,
Wah, wah. I'll be doing what's called blind bail practice. So blind bail means you actually get really close to the target. You go through all the motions. Now obviously you do this in a place where you can safely shoot. You need to make sure you're, if you're shooting with your kid that they're old enough to stand next to you, nothing's gonna run behind you. And you stand close enough to the target that you can't miss. And the whole point of this is to train your muscles to go through the right movements, to train that muscle memory every time to do the same thing, and not even worry about where the arrow's hitting. Early season, we're just working our muscles and getting the routine back. And then later in the season, we'll start fine-tuning things. son's shooting his bow back there. A couple archery tips that I share with everybody who's starting to, get into archery. First thing is, and most important thing, is making sure you have a bow that fits you. So sorry, you can't go to a tag sale, pick up a compound bow for 30 bucks and start shooting it and expect to, be doing any kind of good shots with the thing. Instead, you should go to a pro shop and get a bow professionally tuned. Nice shot. Professionally tuned to you. You want a bow shop that will take time with you. If they're just throwing a bow into your hands and rushing you out the door, give them the bow back, don't buy it, and don't ever go there again and find a better bow shop. If it doesn't fit, it won't shoot good. So get a bow that fits. The next thing you gotta consider is your form. So just some basics on form, and we can do a whole video on shooting bows and correct form. Comments below if you're interested. But every time you pull the bow back, you need to have some anchor points. Think about a tripod like what this camera's on. It's got 3 points of contact. Your hand should be in the same place every time, loose grip. I pull that string back, this top knuckle goes into this pocket right behind my ear. The string tip goes on the tip of my nose, settles in there, and then this finger rests over this trigger, not here at the tip of the finger, but back here in that crease. And the rest of you should stay pretty still. Blind bail means not worrying about where you're hitting on the target, just working on that form. Every time, up, tip of the nose, finger in the pocket, loose grip, boom. Do it again. Boom, do it again. Do it 20, 30, 40 times. Build your muscles and your muscle memory. Don't worry about where you're hitting on the target because you haven't held the bow in probably a few months, maybe 6, 7, 8. If you moved this year, it's probably been like 9 months since you held a bow, like me. Don't worry about the target, just get your form back. And then as we get closer to actually hunting, we'll make sure we're hitting in the target. And we'll update you then on what we do to tune the bow and make sure it's right on point. But we're just gonna keep shooting here. Just have a nice afternoon of shooting bows. And then earlier we checked the game cameras, so we'll see what's on those game cameras. We saw in last week's video, I told you we got some Moultrie game cameras. Moultrie was kind enough to send us 4 to use. We'll have a link below for Moultrie game cameras if you want to check the ones we have out. We're gonna go, we checked the cameras already, we put some new ones up, threw some swapped some cards out, so at the end of this video we'll check and see if we got anything on those cameras. And yeah, we'll update you. But right now I want to shoot my bow. All right, let's take a look. We're checking our cards. Let's see what we got. I think we got that predator.
Hopefully.
You thought it was a raccoon.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, you're probably right. I'll say fox.
Fox?
Why not? That'd be fun. It keeps getting triggered by something.
Maybe.
Did it fill up? It keeps constantly getting, ooh, there we go, what's that? Fox!
What?
Look at him! Woo! Is it a fox or a coyote?
It's a fox.
You think?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
No.
a fox. We got him.
Come on.
We got him. Fox. Sneaky fox. That's good to know. We got a fox running around. We know there's a fox on the property running now at night. We don't necessarily, he's not bothered us in the least bit right now, so we don't have to like kill the fox. When we put our animals out on pasture, we know at nighttime there's a fox running around, so we can deal with them accordingly. We can make sure the electric fence or whatever fencing we use is fox proof, and now we know we gotta be careful. We got a sneaky fox.
Yeah.
Which one's this one?
Oh, this is the corner. I didn't get third field. So let's do that. Let's empty that out. A little 6C. Nice doe. Whoa! Whoa!
What?
Look at that buck!
Yeah.
Wow! You see that buck? Worms can kill livestock really quickly, and tomorrow we talk about our strategy for treating worms, and we talk about herbal and conventional wormers. And we have a very special guest you're not going to want to miss. As you probably are, I don't like the idea of putting chemicals into livestock that I'm using for food purposes.
Hey guys. Actually...
Tune in tomorrow at 5 o'clock
Oh man, I love
p.m.
his YouTube
Eastern
channel.
Time. Does archery hunting interest you? Click on this video to see a hunt from last year. It was a beautiful day in the woods and I was able to get some venison in the freezer.